This is Dollar Jr. welcoming you back to part 2 of Dark Souls Remastered, Indiana Jones style. In the last episode, we got the Silver Serpent Ring and the Rite of Kindling. Now, in this episode, we're going to be getting a couple more rings, some more armor pieces, and our weaponry. Well, not all of it. We're still not going to have the whip yet, but we'll get that later. Everything but the whip, basically. Now, these dragons did kill me recently, so you're going to see my souls here. I'm going to try to edit out most of my deaths, because I just think it's a waste of time to add them. And, I might make a montage at the end of the series showing all my deaths. That might be pretty cool to see. But right here, you just want to climb up here as quickly as possible. They do have the ability to hit you off the ladder. It's happened to me, and it's quite frustrating. But yes, you can attempt, if you want to save a homeward bone, or if you just want to commit suicide, you can. But in hindsight, I probably should have just killed myself here and saved a homeward bone, but they're only like 500 souls, so. Our next objective is to get the leather armor, which is going to serve as our substitute armor piece until we can get to the DLC, which is not going to be for a while. Now this Dark Knight up here, or Black Knight, just roll past him. He's got a halberd, which has got good range. But just run away from him. He will give chase, but he will give up the chase after a while. Like all the enemies do in Dark Souls. They just have some invisible barrier which they cannot cross. And I think that's kind of immersion breaking, but it's a way to manipulate the AI. But right here, you just want to roll off and get the armor. We're not going to be using the longbow, but right here, just we're going to switch out the leather for the leather, and go ahead and put our rings on. Not going to be killing much right now. In fact, I'm fixing to get rid of the scimitar anyway, and we're going to start with the fist weapon as soon as we get to Andre, which is shortly after we get our hat, which is what we're going for next. We're going for our hat next, and the hornet ring. So right here, it's really difficult to do this without the rusted iron ring, which lets you run through water. But there is a way to do it, as you're going to see here. Right here, your elevation is safe from the dragon, but as soon as you get down here at the shoreline, he is going to be in range of killing you. So what you want to do is you want to run, and you're not going to be running fast through the water. But as soon as your stamina is depleted, you want to let it recharge and start running for the ladder. But as you can see in this case, if he hits you at any point before you get to the ladder, you're going to have to run away from the ladder. If you attempt to climb the ladder from that point, you're not going to make it. So what you want to do is manipulate him into spraying you over there, and then run between breaths. If you can get onto the ladder between breaths, then you're usually home free. Now he will at least hit you one more time, as you'll see in a second. He does hit me one more time. Really has remarkable range on that water breath. But after that, we're home free. So we're just gonna go all the way to the top. This is basically a back door into the gardens. Normally you would have to spend 20,000 souls to get the Crest of Artorias to open a door that would allow you to access to this area, but since we're being cheeky here, we're going to take the back secret entrance. Make sure to grab this soul item before going up the ladder. And top off of your health, because pretty soon you're going to have a cat beast that's going to charge you and take at least half of your health. And there really is no way to avoid it that consistently. Sometimes you can avoid it, but most of the time I just take my licks and keep going. So right here, you definitely want to make sure you're topped off. And now you're just going to start running and stay to the left as much as you can. You are definitely going to take a hit at some point, right? There it is. At 50% health pretty much. But he usually won't give chase. You just start running and you're pretty much home free. He doesn't have a very long range of aggro there. He's not going to follow you, so you're good. Conveniently enough, our next item is, we're going to run right into the path right here going down. Now this is the boss fight with Sif, the great gray wolf, but we're not going to fight him just yet. We're in no way capable of taking him out right now easily. Yeah, it's possible probably, but we're not going to even try. But we do have a very useful ring here, which we are going to get. The Hornet Ring, which will boost our critical attacks significantly, and especially early on, which I'm not going to have any point investment into dex or strength. I'm going to rely on the damage from upgrading the weapons and the Hornet Ring boost. Basically, if it's a humanoid enemy with a weapon that I can parry, I'm going to pretty much use that most of the time. Of course, there are going to be other times where I use different methods of attack, which I will show you, but the Hornet Ring is an absolute must for this build, in my opinion, or especially early on. If you get too close to the grave, obviously you will have to fight Sif, and there's no way out of that. You're just going to be locked into it. So make sure you get the ring and don't get too close to the grave. But I think you have to go pretty much down the middle. I haven't tested it, but yeah. Just get the ring and get out. Now, there are no friendly mushrooms here. These mushrooms coming up will kick your ass and knock the life out of you, especially the big ones. Don't mess with them. Just don't mess with them. It's not worth it. They'll punch the life out of you in one hit. Especially like the big ones, one hit they'll kill you. It don't matter. I've seen full bars go away from one of those punches. So, but they're guarding a chest that has the enchanted ember in it, which we're not even going to go for. So, as long as we don't go too close to them, we shouldn't have a problem. Behind this building is an armor set, which we're not going to bother getting either. The stone armor. Here, we're going to talk to the cat and go into our only covenant in the game that we're going to join. The Forest Hunter Covenant, which will allow us to roam around freely without getting killed from all of these guys out here. It'll also give you access to a merchant in Blighttown. Shiva will, right here, we're going to introduce ourselves to Shiva here. You talk to him once, exhaust his dialogue, and he will show up in Blighttown, and you can buy some cool stuff from him. Now here's where we're going to get our hat. Now the hat is being worn by this NPC. Now we can't kill the NPC because then we'll alert everyone else and break the covenant. But if we give him a nice kick in the ass, give her a nice kick in the ass here, and just keep kicking, we're going to kick her off of the ledge here. And we're going to do this later with another person, which we're going to kill and take some stuff from. And as soon as they fall to their death, we're going to quit out, using the quit out trick again. Anytime you do the quit out trick, if there's an item that they had on them, it will reappear in their original spawn location. So where the NPC was stationed is where it will be. See, right there. And that is our lovely hat. It's no fedora by any means, but it's the closest thing I could find to an Indiana Jones hat. So we're going to go with that. Now we're starting to look a little bit better. Closer to the Indiana Jones style. Homeward Bound back. And now we're going to go to Andre to get our weapons. Well, one of them anyway. I have no idea how to say it. The Kaistus? I'm not good at pronouncing it. Again, this knight will give you some trouble. You want to make sure you equipped your scimitar, because up here we're going to kill our first crystal lizard, and we're going to hope we get some items from him. We really want to get the large Titanite piece, and we want to get the Twinkling Titanite, because we're going to need both of those later. But if we can get the large shards and the Titanites, we'll be happy. And it just so happened that's exactly what I got out of this one, so I was quite happy with the result. Booyah. 2 and 2. We'll go with that. Now from here on out, we're not going to engage any enemies until we get to Andre. And we're going to open up a nice little shortcut as well. It's a big time shortcut in this game. And until you get the warp from the Lord Vessel, it's going to be imperative that you open this shortcut to make your life a lot easier. So now we're in the Darkroot Garden. We're just going to run past Groot here. I'm going to call them Groots anyway. And you don't want to engage the Titanite Demon here just yet. We are going to kill him later, but not yet. Our crossbow is not quite upgraded, and we don't want to deal with him just yet. But there's an easy way to kill him. Here we have our friend Andre, and we are going to spend some souls and upgrade. First we're going to learn the Jester. Hurrah! Hooray! You want to get 9 Titanite shards, but first you want to get the Weaponsmith and the Repair Box. This will allow you to do some work at the bonfires instead of always having to come here. Now I usually buy 3 of these castuses, whatever they're called. You're going to have one for your main hand, one for your offhand, and you're going to have another one that we're going to augment later for the Nito boss fight. A divine weapon. We're going to make it a divine weapon, but not just yet. You want to get exactly 9 Titanite shards and upgrade the weapon to +5. Now we haven't upgraded our strength or our dex yet, so you're not going to get all the benefits from this weapon just yet. But early on, a +5 was still very good. And I'm going to go ahead and buy some wood bolts because we're fixing to get the crossbow as well. Now, we're going to go ahead and put these on, and now we are ready for some fisticuffs for sure. I recommend sitting at this bonfire just in case something bad happens. And we're going to go ahead and open up this shortcut, but we're going to do a few little things first. We're going to kill a big knight, and we're going to get a Firekeeper soul, which we will use in just a little bit, which will increase our Estus potency. Right now it doesn't heal very much. And right here we're going to get our first taste of combat with our new weapon. Go ahead and backstab this guy all the time, and with the Hornet Ring he's easily going to go down. Parrying is going to be essential in this build, and I've kind of got used to a lot of the enemies, but some of them, especially the spear enemies, the knights in Orlando are a pain in the ass, and I still don't know how to parry them. But we're going to parry that guy. Now we're going to lure this guy out here. We don't want to aggro the guy up top, the Chandler. He will be sniping at us momentarily. But take the Firekeeper soul and let's lure this guy outside to where we can deal with him more easily. You can actually parry this guy, but you can't riposte him, which is a shame. So really is no point parrying. He takes so long to charge his attacks. So you're just going to get behind him and punch him. He will heal, as you'll see in just a minute. He will attempt to heal when his health is low, but you can charge him and sometimes interrupt him. But I got too far away here, so he managed to get it down. But just keep on the attack and he'll eventually go down. You should have enough health to take a few licks. And now he will drop a Titanite shard. Now we're going to open up the shortcut. Now this shortcut is immensely valuable, especially early on, like I said, before you have the warp. So you want to get right here, and it's going to take us back to Firelink. So now we have quick access to this part of Undead Burg. Alright, let's talk about the path that I'm taking in this walkthrough. It's very unconventional, and the reason it's unconventional is because we've used the master key, and you're not supposed to have access to a lot of the areas that I've had access to. Now, there's a reason I'm going around my elbow to get to my thumb in some cases. There's a dragon, and it's a red dragon that will block your path to a bonfire and another shortcut. Now, I don't like dealing with this dragon, so I found a way that I don't have to deal with him. Now, there's one specific spot that you cannot travel, And as long as you don't travel into that spot, the dragon will never appear. And that's one less headache. Now, of course, because the dragon doesn't appear, you won't have access to his weapon, the Drake sword or whatever, but it's really not much of a loss, and we're not going to use it in this build anyway. So I'm not going to deal with the dragon. So what we're going to do here is a suicide run. We're going to go into New Londo Ruins, and we're going to get another Firekeeper soul. Now, right here in this pot is a transient curse. A very, very important item later on. We're not going to use it right now. It's the only item you can use in which you will be able to attack the ghosts. Unless you have either a cursed weapon or cursed yourself, you'll have to use the transit curse. Now, there is a few weapons that you can use. There's the ghosts actually drop the blade that will let you kill them, but right here, you just want to go straight down the middle, pick up the Firekeeper soul, and run back. But you're usually not going to make it, as you can see. And I had no intentions of making it. I just wanted to get the Firekeeper soul. Sometimes suicide runs are worth it, like in that case. Now, we are going to go visit the Firekeeper downstairs and upgrade our Estus Flask to +2. Going to be a lot more potent, a lot more health going to be for each swig of the Sunny D. Will be good. It's actually bottled fire though. Estus. It's definitely not Sunny D. It just looks like it, I guess. But yeah, it's bottled fire. That's why it refills at the bonfire. So you're actually drinking bottled fire. Doesn't seem very appetizing. Going back up top, we are going to go for a basement key, and we're going to kill a couple more enemies, and we're going to kill another Black Knight, and we're going to open up another shortcut. And we're going to get our crossbows. So that's what we're headed towards now. First thing we're going to go for is the key. We need a key to get into the basement, to go into lower Undead Burg. You can see your punches are not too shabby right now, and they're only going to get better throughout the playthrough. So, but yeah, the parry is still king. You still want to parry as much as possible. Up here, we're going to see our first Boulder Knight. He's got his back to us right now. Now, if we can just kind of walk up slowly to him here, using a little bit of stealth, he won't even notice us, and we can get an easy backstab kill on him. They're not too hard to deal with anyway. They'll drop some Titanite shards on occasion. Now, you want to come over here and get the basement key. Now, don't go too far to the right because you'll aggro the other Boulder Knights, and you don't want to deal with 3 of them right now. And so right there is the basement key, but we're going to backtrack. We don't want to go this way. It's just too much of a headache that way. It's a lot easier to come from above. So we're going to take this path, and we're going to attack from above. We're going to use an item to kill the boar. If you don't want to wait for them, you can always kick their shields. Once we get the whip is going to make short work of any shielded enemy because we can knock their shields away and then follow up with a crossbow shot. Nice in New Game Plus and beyond. I've actually played a New Game Plus 7, and that's a very good strategy. Don't fall off here because there's an angry boar down there, and he's not going to be nice to deal with at the moment. Now, once you kill all these guys, don't get complacent because there's a sneaky little bastard that will always sneak up behind you. I'm going to wait on his ass because I know he's coming. So I'm just going to wait on him. We'll just wait. He's coming. There's the little bastard. He will sneak up on you and ruin your day. Many a times he's done it to me. So we're just going to go ahead and kill him so he doesn't do that to us. Now, that item that we just picked up, the Alluring Skull, will attract certain enemies, and you can use it as a decoy to run around or get away from enemies. It works really well on skeletons too. But in this case, we're going to use it on the armored boar down there, and we're going to make him commit suicide by going into the fire. This is a well-known strat. Pretty much everybody knows about this that's played Dark Souls. But yeah, just keep throwing him after he loses interest. Just throw another one. It'll also attract any hollows that were down there. Where the hell did this guy go? Okay. I didn't know there was another guy coming. Let's see, since I threw the Alluring Skull, he had no interest in me, so he's like, I'm going to go down there, so once the boar is dead, you go down there. Sometimes he'll drop the Fang Boar helmet, which is not something we're going to be wearing, but a lot of people like this helmet. It's very heavy, though. It's like 8 pounds. There's another hollow off to the left here, just waiting for you. You just always kick his shield and do a straight on him and an uppercut. I like that combo. It's very effective. Now, there is a Black Knight here, and we're hoping to get another Titanite. We want to get a Titanite chunks. We want to save for... we want to save our Titanite chunks as much as possible, and any opportunity we have to get them, usually the Black Knights have them on them. Some of them have different variations, like the red ones, or the red Titanite chunks and the Undead Asylum are on the Black Knights. But here, this guy's got a Black Knight Greatsword, which hits very hard, and it's kind of hard to block. Parry. And I really botched this fight. This is not a clinic on how to fight a Black Knight. Let me just put it that way. I've never actually had to fight him downstairs, and then in this case, I had to because he was blocking my path. But yeah, this is definitely not a clinic here. I was kind of embarrassed by this fight. There'll be better ones, but this guy in particular, that greatsword, is kind of hard to parry. You want to get him out here so you can easily deal with him. Yeah, that is just not my day. But when you do have a chance, you can parry him. And early on, when the fist weapon is just not strong enough and we haven't invested any points, we're going to have to kind of do a little cheese tactic going behind his back. Usually after you parry him once, you can go behind his back and get him too. It's definitely the safer way to do it right now. Now, we do have a Titanite chunk. Great. Now, equip your firebombs, because these rats can chain you to death and they will poison you. So they just never stop hitting you, it seems. This is a very annoying enemy in this game. So I don't have the crossbow yet, so we're going to throw a few of these bombs, and that one just missed terribly. But yeah, the firebombs are definitely effective against them, and I recommend it if you have them. We don't need the Alluring Skull no more. Now, be very careful on this little path here. You want to make sure you either parry this guy or kick his shield. You don't want to get all in a frenzy with him. He'll block your attack and knock you off. Your momentum could carry you off. You don't want that. There'll be one more here, and that'll be it for this area here. Now, like I mentioned before, there will be a dragon usually in the game, but he's not going to be here because we're not going to let him spawn. And I'm going to show you the spot you cannot go to if you don't want him to spawn. We're going to light this bonfire, and we're going to go visit a merchant, buy some arrows and a few other items, and we're going to get our crossbow. These enemies are very weak because you were supposed to come here early on. This was actually the first area you were supposed to come to, and we're just now getting to it. So we're taking a very odd path. You definitely want to deal with the archer before coming down here because he'll just pelt you all day with his damn bolts. But yeah, a nice kick, do a straight and an uppercut. Works every time. Now watch out for this guy behind the bookshelf. He's a sneaky little bastard. I actually went to the merchant one time and he attacked me while I was trying to talk to the merchant, so definitely deal with him. You can actually kill this merchant, but I don't recommend it. Well, we're not going to do it for this build anyway. I like to buy the bottomless box and the resonant key and get as many wood bolts as I can, and moving on. Path to the left here. There'll be a few hollows here. They're the weak variety, but they can still hurt you pretty badly. And they go into that frenzy. Now I like this little charge move. You run at them and you do a little bitch slap right in the... knock them both out. Now, pay very close attention to this spot. After you climb this ladder, if you look off to the... behind us, there'll be a little path where some stairs are going up. You cannot go to that area. That's the area you cannot go to. Right behind me. But we're going to jump over here. As long as you don't go to that path behind me, you will not have that red dragon spawn. But that also means you can't come through to this spot the conventional way, going from the bonfire, you know, to the Undead Burg. You can't go that way. So that's why I went such a weird backdoor way, because I don't want that dragon to spawn. That dragon is such a pain in the ass, and I hate dealing with his ass. I haven't really found a way to kill him very consistently. We're going to get a few little weak soul items. They're not worth much, but we're still going to get them. Yeah, these enemies are extremely weak right now. We are overpowered for this area right now. One fist to the face and they're dead. Now there's a little hidden area here. You can drop down. There's a soul item here, and if you go left, and a little path right here, there's another soul item here. Now this was supposed to be your first ambush, but you can actually thwart their efforts when they start climbing up here. There's another ambush right up here, and you'll see I'm not going to have it. I'm not playing with these guys. So you see how they're hanging off? You can just kind of hit them as they're hanging off and they'll die. Their friends get mad and they'll just come join the party. Now the rubbish here, you definitely want to get the rubbish. You're thinking, what does the rubbish do? Well, it's soft, and anything that's soft you want to give to Snuggly the Crow because he likes soft things. Warm and soft. Here's a humanity here. Yeah, that rubbish will actually be a Titanite chunk later, which is going to be great for us early on. Now this path that we're taking was supposed to be like the original path that we took from the beginning of the game, but we didn't go that way, so we're actually coming backwards. You want to make sure you kill this rat here. Sometimes you'll drop a humanity, but not always. When you come out here, you just want to take this right here left and get all the way down here. This will give you some time to get to the hollow here. Easier than dealing with him right when you come out the door. Entrance there. Now, the next item we're getting is the Ring of Sacrifice. Now, the Ring of Sacrifice we're only going to use once, and it's only in one specific area, which is not for a long time, but it is valuable because it will prevent you from losing all your souls in humanity, unless you're cursed, which we'll get to that later. Be careful when you drop down here, and there it is, the Ring of Sacrifice. You gotta be real careful when you're going around here. It's easy to fall off. Just hug the corner there. Now this guy, he won't do anything. You can just shoot him and he'll just got his thumb up his ass. You don't know what he's doing. You see the crossbow's not doing much damage yet, but we're going to fix that. Be careful when you jump here. And we're back at Firelink pretty much. We literally took it the back way. That's the way you're supposed to go from the beginning, but yeah, we did it backwards. but we don't have to deal with the dragon, so it's a win-win in my opinion. Alright, that's going to conclude part 2 of the series. See you guys in part 3.